Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Maria. This is Conversations with Mother Earth. And today I am strictly speaking through audio. I am not going to be on camera today. If you can tell, I'm experiencing some congestion. We are working through sickness at my house this week. And truly I'm not feeling up to being on camera. So I thought it's best if I just show up and just do an audio recording. If you guys didn't know, I do record video for this podcast typically. So 22 of the episodes have been recorded with a video option, which you can find on YouTube and Spotify. So if you're interested in watching me and interacting in that way, then know that those are available to you. Same handle on those other platforms. But yeah, today I'm choosing to forego that. I've never just uploaded an audio to YouTube, so I imagine it's the same. I'll be figuring that out. But yesterday in our Sophia Sunday, I very much tapped into this like supreme energy of the feminine creator. The mother of all is what I'm pretty sure she referred to herself as. And it was a very high frequency, high vibrational information, something like you would find in the Akashic Records, but higher even in the type of content or information that she was sharing with us. And I was really impressed and astounded and just kind of in awe of being in that presence. And I wanted to jump back in and come back in sooner this week because at the tail end of the video from Sunday, she said, and show up tomorrow. She told me, show up, just show up and be here. Open your mouth and get started and just talk, just be the vibration. And so despite feeling under the weather, I thought best if I just show up and do it and be here and share a message for those that are going through similar journeys and experiences that I am. So today I want to talk about being in surrender, because isn't that what this is? This showing up, this doing when you don't always feel the best. Isn't that what being in surrender is all about? I think so. But I'm so interested to find out what the message is about that specifically, being in surrender, living in surrender to the bigger picture, to the light, for the greater good, essentially. So many people, so many individuals and entities have done that and done that well. But it definitely takes a serious level of healing that goes along with it, of serious level of healing, of just kind of being in a place of selflessness almost in a way, and knowing that you're doing something for a greater purpose. There's a lot of elements. We very much have been watching right now, after my foray into the Christ consciousness in the recent episodes and Mary Magdalene and those stories, and just picking up, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene and reading that, and then hopefully moving to the Essene Gospel of Peace. That's my next one. That's what I'll be moving to after I kind of recover from this. I think that's how you say Essene, Essene, Gospel of Peace, and diving into Jesus' more original teachings, his original kind of framework, things that he was really trying to pass on, and diving into that information. It all is so very interesting to me. I've always felt like I've had a Jesus connection, a Mary connection since I was young. So those are things that I find to be interesting and intriguing, and I'm enjoying diving into them and them being present in this whole spiritual journey of mine. So recently we've been watching Jesus Christ Superstar. And, it's a movie, right? But it's one that I've loved for a long time. And just very much enjoy the music and enjoy just how different it is, right? I love just how different it is. And I love to see a reenactment of some of Jesus's life in a way, right? Like a small fraction perhaps, but in that movie, I like how they have positioned or painted Mary Magdalene, it's not overly, what's the one word that I'm looking for? Derogatory towards her and what the Catholic Church has taught about her. They haven't overdone it when it comes to painting her in this negative light. In fact, they try to portray her as an equal and very much as Jesus's counterpart. And there's a number of songs in there that she sings about loving Jesus. Like, how could I be without you? I love you so much. You know, you're my person and my special human. And I love that because I think that's the first place that we really culturally in society have gotten to see that. Representation of her. So I'm impressed with the way that they've told that story and portrayed Mary Magdalene in that. I mean, as much as they, I think, could or can, even now with the teachings the way that they are, still not accurate in what her position was in Jesus's life, but at least getting close. And when was that made? Was it made in the 70s or 80s? I'm not sure. Definitely looks like it was made in the 70s. So either way, oh my gosh, and I have no idea why I started talking about Jesus Christ Superstar. I lost my train of thought. If you haven't seen it though, and you're into musicals, I say definitely check that out. But being in surrender, right, is where I'm trying to go with it, is where I'm trying to go. Jesus, as a human being, trying to live in surrender to his greater purpose, a greater mission, is very like poignantly placed in that movie. You can tell it's something that him as a human being has to grapple with and come to terms with, his death. And you see the fight that he goes through. Like, why must I do this? Why must I go through with this? What's the bigger picture? Like, he has a very human moment in that movie, which how could you fault someone for? Right? So I think about that when I think about Jesus and his life and his human life. And I really don't doubt that there's things like that he struggled with in his life, just like any teacher struggles with in their life. Grappling with the human versus the divine. Seeing who wins. Most often, those really big teachers, we know who wins, the divine. There's like this coming to terms with and accepting of the path, right? Of being of service, of understanding that there's a bigger picture and a bigger reason, and that's why you came here, for that bigger reason. So I think anyone that is going through a spiritual awakening or a spiritual journey in life, a lot of it, I think, especially in the beginning, is this going back and forth of trying to balance the human with the divine and the plan, what you're being asked to do. So living in surrender is I think a very hard lesson to go through, but one that most of us do when it comes to a line of work or line of effort or whatever you want to call this for me. Passion. It's definitely not a hobby, I promise. Right now it's fun. I'm very much enjoying it, but it's a passion. It's a calling of sorts, and that just doesn't go away. So finding a way to live in surrender to that is a very human thing. I understand. And honestly, in any healing journey, it's not just something like that. In any healing journey, there is a call to surrender. A being in surrender that allows you to up-level and change different versions of yourself or heal versions of yourself. Think about someone that's going on a weight loss journey that says, that's it, I'm done. I'm done feeling like this. I'm done having these intrusive thoughts or obsessive behaviors or feeling like I'm not good enough. I'm done with all of those things. You have to surrender, though, to the change. You have to surrender to the person that you want to become. You have to completely change your mindset about those things and just say, hey, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. And I accept the things that I have to do in order to get there, I guess, in a way. Once you can do that, I think in any healing journey or any journey, human journey, once you can do that, that's when the change happens. That's when like that real integration piece, the living manifestation becomes reality. That's when it happens, is when we can surrender to the dream, the thought, the divine, the change. I think that's pretty important. And I love that like aha feeling that comes from it, that almost relief. Like there's no more resistance in me anymore. It takes me a while, personally, it takes me a while to get to that point of just being in surrender and releasing the resistance. I've struggled with ADHD a lot of my life, and also other insecurities, of course, right? Eating, food, all of the things. I'm a tall girl, 5'10", and I've always felt bigger, right, than others. So obsessing about food was forefront a portion of my life for a good number of years, right? In your teens and through your 20s and 30s. Struggling with ADHD, that was my first example. Like all of those things, once you try to start to heal them and examine them and change your mindset about them, there's so much resistance. And it's taken me years to overcome some of the things that I believe about myself, to change my mindset about different aspects of who I am. And that I really struggle with the resistance. I'm telling you, that's why it takes me a long time to change something, a very long time to change. What I've found, thankfully, in this whole spiritual journey is that the presence of light and the presence of love and the presence of spirit and your higher self in your healing journey makes that resistance less pressing. It makes it easier to overcome, easier to release and change and adjust your mindset. I'm definitely a different person in the past 3 years, having gone through this spiritual journey, than I was prior, in terms of like how I view things in my life or my healing or my, what have you. Because it's aided and assisted me in the surrender. I imagine, and all of you have also gone through something similar in probably very multiple areas of your life, multiple areas of your life. Just letting go of the resistance, flowing. All good words that describe what you're doing when you surrender. So I'm going to go ahead with all of that being said and my thoughts on surrender at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and do a grounding meditation and just ask our Akashic Records and our Divine Feminine what that means, being in surrender. How do we work with being in surrender? How do we work towards surrender? How do we release some of those blockages? And of course, as always, me personally asking what that means for me. I hope as you're moving through this video, you can try to ask some of these same questions to your own channel, to your own guides, to your own higher self, and see what comes up. See if you feel a response in your heart or in your body, or just feel a knowing or hear something in your head. A response that perhaps sounds like you, but is not your working mind. That's where the messages come from. Or if, as you work through the week, maybe you're receiving something from the external, an answer to some of the questions that are being presented to you in a different way. Either way, once you start asking the questions and inviting spirit and energy and the light into your life, they do respond. It responds. And then you're having just a lifelong conversation with the magic of, magic really becomes magical. You become a much more deeply connected human being, more aware of the things around you. That's one of the best things of all. You're not in this alone. You're not doing it alone when you're connected in that way. So I want to go ahead and invite you guys to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And go ahead and envision that white light, the source light above your head. And breathe that down into your crown chakra, into your third eye space. Breathe it down your face, the white light, through your throat, down your shoulders and arms, down your chest and through your hips, down your legs, all the way out the soles of your feet, down into Mother Earth. And today, more so, it feels like I'm asked to be just relaxed, full body relaxed, and just letting that light kind of just pour through me down into Mother Earth. No resistance there. Speaking of resistance, no resistance in the light today. It just wants to flow to the earth as easily and effortlessly as possible. And today, even allow yourself to become the light. Allow yourself to dissolve in it. To kind of melt in and become this molten, golden, beautiful, loving energy. Becoming formless. And then when you're ready, go ahead and take a few deep breaths, and you're going to breathe that Mother Earth energy back up through your feet, grounding ourselves, bringing that grounding energy back up through our body. Bringing up your legs, through your hips, out your back, up the top of your head, up into the sky. Carrying it all the way up to that source light again. Once you're nicely settled in that source creator light above your head, take one more nice deep breath and breathe it back down into your chest. Today I want to invite in our guides in this journey. The Mother Creator of all, the Mother of all things, Divine Feminine, my higher self and spirit guides, the Akashic Records as well, to come and support this message today about being in surrender, about living in surrender, and what that means for my life, but also for just life in general. And I thank you with absolute gratitude and love in my heart for this wisdom today. Mother of all, what do we need to know today about being in surrender? The first thing I got is, it's like two-part. It's a twofold thing. First, I got trust fall. And then I got this image of somebody, it was jumping off a high dive. And the height, being as high up, is terrifying. Or can be. And just free falling into the water below. Those are both representations of what it's like being in surrender. It's like this moment of not knowing if there's something there that's going to catch you. It's having the truth in your heart and the wisdom inside of you to know to keep going, to allow that knowing to move your footsteps forward without knowing what you're walking towards, essentially. The emptiness of the future, the emptiness of what's next. And I see literally just like a whiteness, a white path before you. And by path, I mean literally everything is white. It's just like a blank slate, a blank page. Like you're walking down the path, a path in a meadow. And all of a sudden, as you begin to take your next steps, everything in front of you is white. There's no path. There's no landscape. There's nothing. And you almost paint the path as you walk. You paint the landscape around you as you take each next step. And only in each next step do you see what's around you. Do you see what's coming? Or do you see the landscape? And a great many people are asked to do this, or asked to live this way and surrender. They're given the opportunity to live life in surrender. And when you choose to do that, it has a sense of adventure to it as well. I'm getting like excitement or adventure in my chest. It's like the great unknown. What's coming? What's around the corner? You get to live life moment by moment in the present. It's an opening. It's an opportunity. What else does this image represent that you're showing me? It's saying there's this feeling pushed as well down this path. Like, if you need the push, I'm going to push you from behind. You have the support around you. Just know that I'm around, I'm behind, I'm pushing, I'm guiding the whole way. And especially when you ask, if you ask for it, then I will be there with you. You can feel me. But know that I'm there all the time anyway. But if you need the reassurance, I will be there for you. To feel me, to know me. To feel my guidance, to feel my push. To feel almost like my slight, soft touch, pushing you this way or to the right a little bit, or nudging you to the left. All you have to do is put one foot in front of the other. And if you can find gladness in your heart as you take each new step, that makes it less daunting, less scary in a way. You make the journey joyful when you can smile at the things around you. When you can be joyful and lighthearted in the experience. It almost feels like a Disney film. All the plants and the animals and the butterflies and everything kind of buzzing and living around you becomes your own beautiful fairy tale story. And when you look back at the path that you've journeyed, you see how winding, how undulating the path has been. But only in retrospect do you really get to see that. How you've been guided here and there, to and fro. Nothing is linear. Nothing is a straight path. And it truly is never meant to be straight. The straight and narrow. It's almost like you're meant to look back and say, wow, look at all the turns. Look at all the changes I made. Look at all the things I've experienced. the spectrum of experiences. And now she's holding my hand and pulling me forward, walking behind her, but alongside her at the same time, guiding me towards the next place almost. And now in my mind's eye, coming into picture is a view of the earth, but from outer space. So it's almost like I'm in space and looking down on earth. And it's saying, but that's to say that even though from up here you can't see all that goes on, this planet is full of light and guardians. There's a whole population that you can't see that's so invested in the outcome, in each one of you, in your future, in your plan and your purpose. And add on top of that the plants and the animals that speak to you as well, that are guiding you as well. It's so much activity. It's a flurry of activity going on at all times. It's like a high energy, chaotic kind of, not chaotic in a bad way, but it's just so much happening all the time. But I am here, ever watching over the whole dance. I am here and I'm present. And I've always been watching. I've always been here guiding the path, guiding the evolution. And that's not to say just humanity. That means all of the other beings that have participated in the Earth's evolution as well. I've watched all of this happen. I have been a part of all of it. They are all of me. I am in all of those things. So think very big picture here. She says, I am bigger than you can even imagine, child. Now I'm seeing a hand with the earth suspended in it, but then I'm seeing a whole bunch of other different places or planets, all suspended in a hand. And the sentiment is, these are all mine. These are all mine. I watch over all of this. Everything is a fragment of my heart, of my creation, of something that I love. Everything is a piece of me. And I get to watch it all. The joy of motherhood in that way, of watching all that is of you around you. All of creation is a beauty from my heart. And I find it joyful and beautiful to witness, to watch. Everything is loved by me. Again, the sentiment is like the mother and all of her children. You can find me in the simple breaths and the whispers that are around you at all times. The wind on your cheek or in your face, the whistle of the wind in your ear. These interactions all speak of me. They all hold me within it. And it says, I am of the daring and I am of the cunning. I am of the serene and the peaceful, the tranquil, the creeks and the bubbling brooks, the water that moves over rock, the mountain and the meadow, the grass and the soil, all that which is beneath your feet, I am. The birds, the wind in your hair. It is me in all of these things. The Great Mother. And again, the Great Mother of all. Great Mother, what do you have to teach us or tell us about being in surrender? What does this mean specifically for me? Well, it's about almost a great unleashing of yourself. It is like a removing of all of your barriers, all aspects of yourself that try to contain yourself, anything trying to contain you. It's like a blowing wide open of those. And again, I'm seeing a full womb, like a pregnant belly. And it just opening, lifting, and unleashing, and all of this like creation coming out and going in all directions from my body. What does this represent? This is living to your fullest potential. Living from a creator mindset. And the next image, it's kind of transitioning to just myself, but as like limitless stars. It's this blue sky with stars. And this is what I become. And it's almost like the sentiment behind it, it's hard to put into words, but it's like you become like universal limitlessness or universal potential. When you can remove the restraints of this, like it's even like this human skin, and just become this limitless potential. That's what living in surrender is like. And nothing really has to be difficult, in the sense that where you put your effort or where you focus this potential is where growth happens, or form something, or where things take shape in your life. So this sense of, if you want something to take form in your life, focus this potential in that direction and allow it to mold and take shape in front of you. It's almost like you're forming it out of clay, in a way. This is very abstract. It feels abstract and big picture. So it's a little bit hard for me to try to put into words, I have to say. But you can form this, what you are working towards, or your desire, you can form it with your energy and your intention, and shape it even in front of you with your hands or with your mind. It feels like with your mind, with your heart. So if I were to utilize this, I would want to envision what my future life, or what I want my everyday life to look like. And I bring all of those aspects of my life, all of the things that I am wanting to see, I bring them into this sphere, I guess you could call it. And from there, it's almost like you're attaching a clay around it, like a mold, and giving it shape, this life, this future, this everyday. And you're packing it with clay, and you're adhering the clay to all aspects of what this can look like for you. And I know it's very abstract. But you allow it to begin to take actual shape in front of you. Building that life. Or building the potential of a new earth, even. What that would look like. You're focusing your energy and your intention on taking the idea from your mind, from the idea from inside of you, and giving it an actual shape in front of you. And then building that shape with clay or with structure, adding structure to it until it becomes fully formed. And then you walk towards it. With your heart open, you walk towards it. I'm going to take the time to do this. I'm going to take a few minutes to envision what mine personally looks like. And if you're here, I invite you to do the same. Now, once you feel like you have all of these images about you, your experience of what you want this to look like for yourself, Mother of all, now that we have our image, our essential projection, our manifestation of sorts, our creation in front of us, now what do we do? What do we do with this? Now send it like a spiral of loving white light that encompasses the whole thing. Send it out from your chest. Send it out from your body. And encompass all of it, okay? And then to begin to walk towards that life, that world that you've created. And become the light and merge with the light as you walk. And allow yourself really to become this. And I keep, as I'm moving towards this, or submerging and immersing, molding myself to this. I can't think of the right word. Molding myself into this, placing myself in this creation. I keep getting more and more visions of different things that I want to include. And I just keep walking towards it with my heart open, with my chest open, and allowing my human self to just fill up the whole space. Take up the whole space. Just allow yourself to live in this reality. A few more minutes, take a few more deep breaths and live in this reality you've created for yourself. And again, if it feels too small or too narrow, expand it more in your awareness. Let it expand more to include more than you could possibly imagine, more than this. And then what I see next is just allowing this to continue into the future, into the universe, as far as your mind's eye can visualize. Just let it take up all the space in front of you like a funnel. And I've gotten this imagery before about this manifestation as funnel, or creating your reality, being a womb portal, a creator in that way. It's like a funnel where it gets bigger and bigger. And just allow this life that you are creating or calling into being, allow it to take up all the space that you can see from here forward. And it gets bigger and bigger as it gets farther and farther away. It takes up all the space. And you're in it. You've walked into it. You've become a part of it. You've molded and melded yourself into it. So it doesn't seem separate from you at this point. It seems like this is you. Now from here, Mother of all, what do we do? How do we solidify this into being? Now breathe all of that imagery back into your body. Not to the point that it's empty in your mind's eye, but just breathe into it. Breathe it in so that it coats the insides. So whatever emotion that you're feeling as you're witnessing this creation of yours, now you feel it inside of yourself. You feel the light, you feel the joy, you feel the peace and the balance. You feel the experience. You feel the laughter. And if you can, as it's coating your insides, allow yourself then to be formless. Allow yourself then to just let your body kind of release and just become this creation. Almost like you're vibrating inside of it, with it. And this is what I call into being. This is the life I choose. This is the world that I create. And then again, in your human form, go ahead and walk. Walk yourself down the funnel. Walk yourself down the portal. And allow yourself to just kind of slowly come out of the visualization. Knowing that now, every step that you take, you are walking in this funnel of creation that you've made. It's already around you and in front of you. Yeah, you're surrounded and encompassed in it. And believe that this is what you will receive and perceive, both. As I take my deep breaths now, as I'm coming out of this, I feel that I'm surrounded by it, that this is the reality. That which I've created in my mind of what I want my family to look like, what I want my future to look like, what I want the world to look like, what I want relationships and interactions to look like, what I want pleasure and leisure in my life to look like, what I want my home life to look like. I have that firmly implanted in my mind, and I feel it now around me as I'm like walking down this tunnel, this funnel of creation that I've projected out into space. It feels like kind of like a funnel portal, almost. And if you have the time, go ahead and make some notes. Jot down in your journal some things that you remember from this visualization. That way we can keep it and look back on it in the future and say, wow, this feels aligned. All right, let me take one more deep breath. After that manifestation vortex exercise. Manifestation doesn't feel like the right word, but it feels like a vortex, funnel, creation, like that portal, womb portal, creator, energy. And I still feel very much attached to mine. But Mother of all, do you have anything else for us as we leave today about being in surrender? Anything else you want to share with me? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with choosing to be fully human and having a human experience. Choosing to be fully human and experiencing all of what the earth has to offer is the most enriching thing. It's like take full advantage of this experience here. Surrender to human life. Surrender to living your life every day, but doing it in a way that you're experiencing the world around you. Not sitting cooped up inside in front of the TV, type of choosing to live. Choosing to live by taking a walk or getting out in nature, biking and swimming and experiencing artwork and music, food, laughter. Choose those human experiences as often as you possibly can. Surrender to the idea that that's what life is meant to be like. Interacting and experiencing the human aspects of yourself. Do you have anything specific for me about surrendering to this pathway, to this journey with you? And it said, child, we have a long road together. It's almost like I felt a little something drop in and go into my throat. Amplify the frequency, amplify the voice. Talk louder, talk more. Embody the, it's like live this, embody this. Live this and embody this version of yourself that you're becoming. There's like this, expand out. There's this way to become bigger than even how you present yourself now. It's like taking up space, but it's like of substance too. Fill the room with your energy and with your confidence. Fill the room with who you are. Be big and be unapologetic. Yeah, and I just keep seeing myself getting bigger and bigger and bigger, taking up space in the room. But it's like meaning take up space in life. Become this big version of yourself, this full version of yourself that's here, that you're meant to be. It's kind of like quit playing small, Just kind of like be about what you are. Exemplify it. Live it. Unapologetically. All right, well, thank you for this message. I'm seeing like a stone path and taking steps on the stones. Following where the earth maiden or where the goddess is taking you. On a journey down the path. Laughing together. Revelry. That's what it looks like. I'm just like following this beautiful woman as she's kind of running playfully through the forest in the meadow, being led in a way towards where I'm meant to go. In this playful childlike way, embodying the child again. Play. Well, thank you everybody for being here, working through this episode. Again, we started off being in surrender and talking about what that means, and went through a whole I hate the word manifestation, but went through a whole kind of birthing of reality, exercise, of visualization, which I've been shown this in different forms a few different times now. At least one other time in another video about the divine feminine. But I very much feel that we're being shown how to do this, how to change and change our reality, create something beautiful and new by utilizing these visualizations. It's surprising to me that it's been brought up again, but it very much is important. It must be important or else it wouldn't be brought up again. And this one felt almost like we were guided and led to how to create, versus the last one where it was just kind of more of an explanation about what we were seeing or what shape it was. It was, more visual, but this was kind of like walking us through, which I think is so great and incredible. And I think this is something that we can do over and over and over again. holding it in our mind and in our heart about what we've created, what we're walking in, holding the form. Pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. So thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for going through these. Thank you for going through the messages with me and being present and being here. I hope to see you when we're feeling a little bit better and in the next video. For now, I will talk to you later. Bye.